Hey everyone, it's Sleepy Reader, aka Damien, and today I'm doing a new comic book day haul. I'm going to show you the books I just picked up a few hours ago, excuse me, at my comic shop called Cloud9 Comics. And I think I got 12 books, plus I picked up some stuff out of a box of dollar comics, a new box of dollar comics that he had there. I just randomly grabbed some stuff. Probably nothing I really should have bought, but what the hell. I got a ton of DC comics actually. So an unusual week that way, but most of it looks really good. Starting with Strange Adventures from Tom King and Mitch Gerards and Evan Shaner. Really like that cover a lot. I've been enjoying this series with just a slight sense of dread that Tom King is yet again going to gut and ravage heroes that I enjoy in their lighter format. Um, and then there's Batman's Grave. I kind of have reduced my expectations of Batman's Grave. It's been kind of all over the place in terms of how much I've enjoyed reading it in the past 10 issues. This is number 11, and it's a 12-issue maxi series, so I will be hitting the end soon. I know I will enjoy the Brian Hitch art, but whether the Warren Ellis written script is working for me, I seriously doubt it at this point, but we'll see. And I have gotten back on Batman Detective Comics. I started out with Tomasi early in his Detective Comics run, and it wasn't grabbing me much, and I dropped it, and now I've added it back to my pull, starting with the last issue, the 1027th issue, celebrating one that was the giant size issue, celebrating 1,000. I think it wasn't that celebrating 1,000 issues of Batman in Detective Comics. I'm quite psyched for Hawkman, which has been one of my favorite DC superhero titles of the past, I don't know what, 2 years that it's been running. It's written by Vendetti, and he's had a bunch of good artists with him, and including Passaran, who's the main artist this issue. And you can see from that that splash page there that it's pretty intense artwork. So definitely looking forward to reading this. It'll be on the side of the more fun reading for sure. I am way behind on Green Lantern, so I've been picking it up, but I, for some reason, have not been reading it lately. So I think I have like 5 issues of this, excuse me, Green Lantern Season 2 from Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp to read. I have mixed feelings based on the first season. And Liam Sharp has done something weird with his art here where it's more painted looking. But I am looking forward to reading these. I just need to get around to it. There goes my messages. Wonder Woman number 764. I was going to drop this, but then someone told me that Steve Pugh, the artist, is coming on it, so I thought I'd give it one more chance. We'll see. This issue might be the make or break for Wonder Woman for me. I've not been enjoying the new writer on it so far, Mariko Tamaki. Really, so those were all the what was that, about 5 or 6 DC comics. Then I only have one Marvel comic. I just don't get a lot of Marvel anymore. And that is The Immortal Hulk, which, although I don't get a lot of Marvel anymore, this Marvel comic is often my most favorite comic of the month. And I also love the artwork when it is by the artist, the usual artist, which it is this time, Joe Bennett. I'm a huge Joe Bennett fan now. There's a pretty spectacular spread there. He doesn't let me down, and works with a good colorist. Let's see, what's the colorist's name? I can't find the credits. Weird. Okay, probably says on the cover. Paul Mounts is the colorist. Good, solid Marvel superhero coloring, I guess. Okay, and now on to the indies. I got Grendel, Kentucky from AWA Upshot, the very slick, seemingly well-funded new comic book brand comic book company run by Axel Alonso, ex editor-in-chief of Marvel. I really like the art in this one. Last issue, I was sort of on the story, but it has potential, so we'll see where it goes. And in fact, it kind of ties in with the next one, because Once and Future is dealing with Grendel's mother, I think, in this issue. So Grendel, Kentucky is some kind of retelling of Beowulf in the kind of weirder byways of Kentucky. And then Once and Future is this weird upside-down world of Anglo-Saxon mythology and Buffy, a character much like a retired Buffy the Vampire Hunter, and her grandson. Anyway, always look forward to the great art here. Jared Osborne pointed out a flaw with the fight scenes in previous issues of this, in his most recent pull list New Comic Book Day video. And I agree with him. Once he said it, I realized, yes, he's right about the problem with the fight scenes and the approach taken in this book of recent times. But I still enjoy it. I don't think that stops me too much from enjoying it. And my phone messages are going crazy. And here we have Red Mother. Another good but very slow-moving horror comic. I really am hoping they move things forward a little more, something more happens. Jared Osborne, again, calls it a slice of life comic. I don't really view it that way, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should be viewing it that way. And here's one. I don't normally get new Aftershock comics because they charge an extra $1 for their first issues. But I put this one on my pull list because I really was curious what Inaki Miranda, the comic book artist, was up to. I don't know if this is his first comic that he's writing, but he's co-writing it with his brother, so that might be interesting. And something in the previews about the description of the book also made me think I would like it. But I thought it was worth a try to get his art. And at least this time, for the extra money they charge for a #1 book, they actually give you a really cool fold-out cover. So I did think that was cool. I'd still rather not spend $5 on a first issue of a comic. $4 is hard enough. Oh, just flipping it open, the colors look really nice too. So looking forward to giving that a shot. And then super looking forward, definitely the comic I'm most looking forward to this week is Usagi Yojimbo, number 13 in the new Color series. And this is sort of halfway in the middle of a very intense story, so I've been really waiting to see what will happen. And I see they have the big E for the Eisner Award. I think Stem Sakai won a number of Eisner Awards this past year. So then on top of that, I'm going to show you these just oddball things I just grabbed for the heck of it out of the $1 bin. I normally get no messages. So Bob from Everything Comics and Travis Noak and probably my wife. So Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle from Marvel. I grabbed it out of the dollar bin because it was a Buscema drawn issue. Although I think it's probably one where he did very rough layouts and someone else inked over it and did most of the artwork. So it's not as impressive to me flipping through it as I'd hoped. But still, it might be fun, and I like having Tarzan comics, so I don't pay much for them. This looks like fun. It's one of those old DC reprint comics. I'm not familiar. I don't remember 4-Star Spectacular Giants, but this is all reprints from the Gold and Silver Age. It has a Golden Age Wonder Woman, and I think a Silver Age Superboy and Silver Age Hawkman in it. And the Hawkman looked really good to me, actually, with art by Murphy Anderson. So, and script by Gardner Fox. And then I grabbed this World Finest featuring the sons of Batman and Superman, who also dressed exactly like Batman and Superman and pretty much look like them because the artists of the time don't age characters down very much. It's got art by who was it? I think it's art by Ernie Chua and story by Bob Haney. just appealed to me for some reason. Also, just for some reason, I grabbed this April O'Neil #1 in a 3-issue miniseries from Archie. The artwork is by Bob Fingerman, who I know mostly from his sort of almost underground-like series, Minimum Wage. So his autobio series. I assume he was just doing this for some cash back in the day, whenever it was that Archie was publishing the Turtles. And I grabbed this Ghost Rider, just because I thought I'd Ghost Rider for $1. Sure, why not? And it's written by Tony Isabella and art by Bob Brown. I'm not usually blown away by Tony Isabella scripts, but I do like Bob Brown art for some reason. I knew him first from doing Batman over at DC, and then I remember some Avengers and a few other things by him at Marvel before he disappeared. And I recently learned it's because he died very young, which is kind of sad. And then finally I got the Atom and Hawkman. I did not know this was a thing. I did not know there was an Atom Hawkman series during the late Silver Age. But there you are, and it has a beautiful, as it's always, I always love the Joe Kubert artwork, but it's not Joe Kubert inside, it's Dick Dillon, who's an artist. Well, look at that hole in the cover, no wonder I could get it for $1. Who's an artist who never excited me as a kid. I don't know if I gave him another chance now, if I'd find him more exciting. He sort of epitomized to me when I was a Marvel fanboy, in the 70s, what was wrong with DC, that it was just boring. So that's that. I think I'll also show you a few trades I picked up recently, because I thought about that. I didn't pick these up today. It's scattered around the past month, 6 weeks. But I was talking to my comic book store guy, and he mentioned that this recently... this new edition of the Silver Surfer omnibus that just came out sometime earlier, like a month ago, is already out of print because he sold the 3 copies he ordered, and he tried to order more and they weren't available. So that kind of blows my mind that they wouldn't just keep the Silver Surfer omnibus in print. Because I would imagine, if comic book stores kept a copy or two in their store, they would sell one. Every once in a while someone would walk in who remembers loving the Silver Surfer and would grab the omnibus. It's not like something that gets dated or anything, but Marvel just really takes a lot of their hardbacks out of print very quickly. So I bought this from him with the credit I had left over from the comic I traded, the big comic I traded in with him. So I'm glad I got it when I had the chance. I guess Marvel will probably put it out again in a few years, I suppose. But yeah, and then I love Immortal Hulk so much that I'm double dipping on these slightly large size hardbacks as they come out. So this one includes issues 11 through 20. So each hardback has 10 issues. Just because it's such a favorite book, I want it available to me to pull off the shelves and enjoy. I suppose I may have buyer's remorse when it comes out in a even nicer omnibus or something. And I've now got all 3 omnibuses or deluxe editions, of Jack of Fables. So I plan to sit down now and read the whole Jack of Fables. I think I just read it when it was originally coming out, read a few issues and liked them. But at the time, I wasn't such a regular comic book store goer, and I didn't manage to remember to keep picking up all the issues. So now I'd like to read the whole thing. And finally, I think about a week ago, I got this new Conan the Barbarian, the original Marvel Years, Volume 4. Here's the cover. I took the dust jacket off. And it's getting into a period, I think I I gave up on Conan shortly before number 100, and this one has issues issues 84 through 115. So we're getting into, and I've collected all the other omnibuses so far, the other 3 of Conan the Barbarian, and now I'm wondering, do I want to keep collecting, ad infinitum into the 200 issues that they got in omnibus form? Is it worth it to me? And I'm not sure. So I got to think about that, whether this is the last volume of these Conan the Barbarians that I want. Maybe I was wrong to stop collecting it back in the day when it kept going on forever. I think in a few issues, this may be the last omnibus where everything is written by Roy Thomas. In a few issues, it'll probably a few more issues away will be when Thomas left and people like Michael Fleischer became the writer on it, and J.M.D. Matthias. And at the time, I would dip in every now and then and not approve of the writing by those guys and would dip back out. Anyway, so maybe I should hurry up and read this omnibus so I can decide with the next one. But part of me wants, now that I've got 4 of them, wants to have all of them, of course. Okay, I hope you guys have had a good comic book day, a good comic book week, and I will talk to you later.